Alright, so I had a video planned for this week, but I couldn't get parts in time. So what I'm going to do is I've purchased some things. I've purchased an IPS screen to replace the defective screen that's on here. I ended up ordering another power kit, and this power kit came with a power jack for the Atari Lynx. And so my thoughts are, because we have two pads that are ripped away, and it has this one pad that was the only one that seemed to actually go somewhere to begin with. Whereas if I look at the front of the board, I have 3 pads, and so I think what I'm going to end up doing is placing solder here, here, and here, and then I'm going to heat it up from the bottom and drop the power jack on, like we would do with a an HDMI port for a PS. That's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully it won't fight me too bad. We shall see. We'll do that, then we'll test it, and then we will try to fix the pads with this kit I got. Let's find some solder. All right, so now we're going to set our hot air station to 350, and we're going to come from the bottom and try to gently, this is going to be hard, man. Or maybe I might have to do it from the top. We're going to have to try to do this without melting anything. All right, we're going to hope that worked. Let's make sure these two aren't touching. They are not. These two aren't touching. Okay, that's good. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to be all right. All right, so this should be, if I'm not mistaken, this should be center pin positive. So let's go back to the overhead. And so what I have is I have this deal right here. This should plug right in there. We're going to make our own. So let's figure out which one of these is. I don't see any like black stripes or anything on, or white stripes. So this cable is not. So this must be the center. This must be the center pin. This one I'm holding here, because I'm getting resistance. All right, so this pin right here is definitely my ground. So let's put black on that. And so this should be positive. So if I turn this on, and so if I check from there to there, I get a positive 8 volts. Okay, so that's good. So now that means technically, right, I should be able to plug this in, put my game in, and if I turn this on, okay, I get no current draw, which is good. I'm going to set my power supply down to 5.5 volts, just in case something catastrophic happens. Cut it on, we get into current draw. So if I take my tweezers, and I'm pretty sure the game's going to come on. It's drawing 276 milliamps. I can't see, but okay, I think I see. Okay, so let's cut that off. Let's go up to 8.5 volts. It should automatically cut on because I didn't turn it off when I cut the power supply off. And it turns on. Yeah, I see the game. Okay, I see the game. All right, good. So the power jack is repaired. So that's part one of the video. The power jack is repaired. So I bought these things off of Amazon. They are made in the US of A by Buttonworks, and that's surprising because I thought the only thing made in America in 2024 was Sin. But yeah, so apparently Sin and these things right here, which from what I can tell is I'm supposed to stick them over the contacts and then they're good forever. I'm gonna take this off. Well, I reckon I could do these smaller ones, I guess. Yeah, I might be able to use the smaller ones because I got a bunch of them. I don't know, we'll try. We'll try it out. Let's see. So then what we can do is take this, put it directly over there, over the center of that, like that. I mean, it's not directly over the center, but, and then we can just take and come down like this. So next we'll go ahead and do off. It's looking pretty good. So now I reckon these work because it's kind of a thick piece of, this is a kind of a thick piece of plastic on the outside. And I guess you just press down. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's, I don't feel any clicking. Well, we'll see. Let's plug that in. So let's take this and set it here. We're gonna cut it on. That didn't work. All right, that worked. Oh, you know what? Why don't I just do it? That worked. That turns it off. That turns it on. That turns it off. That works. That works pretty good. I guess you just got to make sure you have it centered properly. So now let's see if it'll work with these. Yeah. Yeah, works fine. All right, I think that's I think that'll work. So now the last thing we need to do is figure out how to install this thing that comes with an HDMI cable. I'm not sure what that's all about, the whole HDMI cable thing, but I don't know. I just want it to screen, man. But I think this might be more fancy. It's high speedido. And there's all the stuff. So I think we're going to figure out how to do that. I don't think I'm going to have a video this Friday. Because TJ's tired, bruh. I'm tired. All right. So the first thing, I have to remove the power module. So I reckon we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so next I need to remove Q9 and R73. So we're gonna find Q9 and R73. So here's Q9 right here. So we're gonna take that off. All right, Q9 is off. And we got to find R73. I found R73. All right, so then I got to replace R34. Basically got a short R34. And R34 is right freaking there, dude. You know what? I think I might be able to take this, I might be able to take this off. I might be able to get in there a little bit easier. We are going to try to put some, probably don't need this. It's probably got ancient leaded solder anyhow. We'll take that off. Now we got to figure out how to bridge those. A little piece of this wire ought to do it. All right, the next thing is to remove the LCD. So we got to take these out. All right, that's good. So now we've got to get this off. So I'm assuming this has to come off like that. And then I need to do the other side like that. And I need to flip it over. And all right, that's off. Now let's go ahead and take this off. I don't know how that, is that glued on there? All right, let's see if we can peel. All right, that's off there. And I think I might have ripped that last one. It was very difficult to get in there. Actually, I don't think I did rip it. I think it never. So next I need to get this off of here. And so I'm going to put some flux down. And we are going to take Well, I only messed up one, but in a pinch, I suppose that could be fixed. And so now we got to take this thing off. I'll put this in where I've been keeping all my extra pieces of the Atari Lynx. Now this should come off, right? And it does. So that's done. Now I need to take these off. So which is better to use? That's off. And that's off. Now I just need to take the fuses out. Alright, all we got to do now is figure out the rest, so that's next. Alright, so the next thing I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to solder this ribbon cable starting at pin 12, and then it should end on pin 58. So I'm going to have to use the microscope to do this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to go about halfway. Then I'm supposed to go to pin 58, which I'm assuming, actually, let's try to slide this over a little bit. Like that. So I think those are on there pretty well. It didn't give me, the picture showed it being halfway onto these pads. That's how the picture shows it being soldered. So that's how I soldered it, but it should be making good connection. So what is next? All right, so the next thing is I have to run some wires. So the first wire is going to go right there. The next wire is going to go to the center pin. So then the next wire is going to go up here to the audio jack. So this wire is going to go here. And then I'm assuming this wire goes here. Another wire goes here. All right, that's good. I'm assuming they want me to solder this wire, one wire to right here. And these other two wires, I cannot figure out where I'm supposed to put them. Somewhere up here. So it looks like I'm supposed to solder one wire to here, and then one wire to the other one. That's what it looks like. I could be wrong though. Like that. All right. So let's clean up all those spots. All right, so this is what I've got. I am not going to shorten these wires. Oh man, those are some super long wires though. But I don't know if I'm supposed to fold, and I don't know. I don't think it matters. I just need to make sure that that's as long as that needs to be right there, you know? So these two are A and B. I'm gonna cut them. This one is OPT. So we'll put some flux on here, and we will put a little dot of solder. All right, that's one down. All right, that's done. So then we have these to do. So we need to figure out which wires connect. So we got to do TPR. So this is going to go to BK. All right, that's good. The next one is the TPR. All right, two more left. So we got right audio and left audio. All right, all the wires are connected. They are all connected. I've shortened them up as much as I could. This one should sit right here in between, or I can move it. I can move it down here, like so. I don't think it really matters. As long as it's not on that pad, we can put tape there or something. Okay, let me figure out what's next. I'll be back. So I guess the next step in this process is to begin to prepare the shell. Now I've got to clean all that, so. I don't think, I think I need to cut these nubs off. This doesn't seem like it's a big enough screen. I mean, no matter what I do, even if I cut these nubs off. And I don't know if that's glue or if that's friggin' corrosion. Yeah, so even if I put this screen on here, it's a flat surface. It's still too wide. Or yeah, it's too wide for the. All right, so I think I'm going to have to put the new I think I have to put the glass in here because the new glass has a different cutout in the center for the new screen. So like that. And that way when I put the new screen in, it'll hide. So we're going to do that. I'm glad I didn't put that in there backwards because I wasn't even thinking about it. So now, when I put the screen in there, it's got to be centered somehow. How do you know how to center it? That's the hard part. I don't think this is going to work, man. Because this was too wide. You know what I'm saying? This was too wide. So let's try to take this out. So let's hope that this friggin' works, dude. Because I'm not going to know what to do if it doesn't work. So I'm definitely going to have to trim this off. So let's try to trim this off. Like so. I'm guessing that this is the tape or the thing I'm supposed to set the screen on. I'm guessing. And I suppose I have to cut it in strips. But boy, is this going to be horrible if I ever have to try to take this off. It needs to go like this. Right, and it needs to be kind of centered on there like that. And then this would sit on here like so. This would sit on there like that. This would plug into here. I'm sure some of you guys are screaming right now like, dude, you're an idiot, but hey, man. I'm not good with these screens, dude. I touch them, everything gets a mess. I suppose I could have cut them longer, huh? So my assumption is that the output to this screen is going to have to be smaller than the actual screen size. It's going to have to like be 4:3 or whatever, you know. The resolution is going to have to be different. But what I have to do is I have to center this as best I can on here and then stick it down and just hope that it's freaking good enough, because this is a little nerve-wracking, because once you put it down, man, it's going to be like, and you don't get instructions, you get images on Aliexpress on basically what you're supposed to do. So we are going to, we're going to have to pull this off. Terrifying day. It's a terrifying day for me. we're going to have to pull this off. I'm going to stand up. Well, that's it. I mean, it's stuck down, so then I'm going to take this and put it on the back. That way I can take my board and then this is going to stick behind the board like so, so that when you plug in whatever cable they want you to plug in. So I have to basically cut out a hole for this out of the shell. I'm fairly certain this is going to be a disaster. And so my mark, I don't know if you can see it, I marked it with a pencil where it was going to be. So let's take this. All right, so I've got it marked pretty well. So I have got to figure out how to drill a hole in this thing. I'm gonna have to do this out in the garage. All right, so that is the hole I made. What I need to do, I drilled a hole and then I filed it with some nail clippers, but I need to get some like specialized files so that you can like get it more square. But this cable, which is the cable I guess that gives you HDMI out, it fits well. So for my purposes, it's not like I'm going to sell this thing. For my purposes, it should work fine. So now we should be able to put, I'm just going to go ahead and put that foam stuff on here. I'm going to stick it to the back of the screen so it's not sliding around. Hopefully this isn't a huge mistake. And then I'm going to feed my ribbon cable through there. And now I need to put something under there because I have to have it line up with that hole. This goes on here like so. So let's hold this down. Where's that cable at? I just had it 2 seconds ago. And now that goes in there like that. So that's that. I guess that's how it's going to go in there. This is not an easy thing to install. All right. That's in there. So I'm supposed to stick this here, but I'm not going to do that yet. I will do that. I'll do that at a later date. And then I think it's just as simple as taking this a little piece of paper in there to so that thing don't either spring back up. All right, we're not gonna have sounds. Hopefully nothing smokes. Find the game. Got to figure out how to hold this in here. All right, no currents drawn. $172. Oh, there it is. I see it. All right, there's the screen. Nice and bright. Dude, it's way too... Can you like vertically adjust it though? I've got to somehow adjust that down. All right, I don't know. It does work though. Does the HDMI out work? Let's test that. So I've got HDMI plugged in, so let's go down to the, all right, so we are going to power the console on and see if it auto detects the HDMI. It didn't, it's not on. All right, it's on. But I don't see anything coming out. There he goes. Hey, it works. So HDMI works, screen works. We are in business. All right, so I have got to figure out how to get all of this in here without damaging anything. But everything works. So I have to resolder the wires. We have to resolder the wires and then screw it back down. All right, so I have got it put back together. It took a little ingenuity, but let's power it on. Uh-oh. Something ain't right. Nope, I didn't tear up nothing. All right, I didn't tear up nothing. Okay. I didn't tear up nothing. So what would have been shorting out? All right, so that's open load. What else could have been shorting? So if I put this in here now, is it gonna short? No. If I turn it on, will it short? No, it doesn't. Oh, I don't have the game in. Hold up. Let me put the game in. Doesn't short. It shorts. Something to do with the battery. Something to do with this battery. I'm touching something I ain't supposed to be touching or something. So let's take Alright, whatever. Something is not working. Let's take the battery back off. Ah, it's shorted. Dude, what in the world is going on with this thing? Alright, I got it back together. It was miserable, but so if we power it on, we should see the screen. You can get into the options by holding that down and pressing there, and then there are various options that you can change your brightness. You can scroll through them by hitting option. I adjusted the horizontal position to 58 to move the screen down. I can't do left and right, but I can do horizontal. So, but I think for me this is good enough. Sound works, the screen works. It's pretty cool. The buttons. I don't know how to play the game, but the buttons work. All of the buttons work. So yeah, so I am finished with this. I'm not going to sell this because of just all the corrosion. I don't know how long it'll last or whatever, but yeah, so it works, and I'm happy to be finished with this because it was a pain in the neck to try to situate everything inside here and then not to have everything shorting out. So you had to tape off a bunch of stuff, and then you'd put it back together and it would short out again, and so then you would have to, you know, continually try to figure out what is actually shorting, because you're looking at it like, dude, there's no way anything could short, but something shorted, because when it does that, the power supply goes to constant current. Yeah, so in any event, but thankfully it wasn't running to the game. It was just shorted to ground. It was shorting the hot to ground. I never did figure out exactly what was shorting it. I just taped off everything. I put tape everywhere there was something shiny. Tape went. Yeah, that's for me, it was a difficult, frustrating mod, because while this works for the Lynx 1, I think the instructions were for the Lynx 2, and you just had to figure out anyhow. But yeah, it worked, so I'm happy to be done. Anyways, y'all be good.